So, good morning, class 11. Okay, and today, as I told you, a small portion of the previous chapter is left, but then that is more of theoretical. Okay, and one short numerical you can get from there based on direct substitution in the formula. So, the more important part is this chapter, that is hydrocarbon, which is a bit lengthy and requires explanation. Okay, so I'm starting with the 13th unit of NCRT, and that is hydrocarbons. Okay, to define them, what are hydrocarbons? Hydrocarbons are the simplest organic molecules made out of only carbon and hydrogen. They are the simplest organic molecules made of only carbon and hydrogen. Right? Now, the other terms I have already dealt with you. What is 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree carbon? What is quaternary carbon? Okay, and IUPAC nomenclature, all that we have done. Now I am directly starting with alkanes. This chapter includes alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, and benzene and its derivatives. Okay, and the reactions associated with them. So last what I had did was types of reactions. That is why I am starting here so that you can link the two chapters. Okay, alkanes means saturated hydrocarbons. They are saturated hydrocarbons. All four valencies of carbon are satisfied by single bond. Then they undergo only substitution reactions. Primarily, mainly, they undergo substitution reactions. Okay, now let us first start with method of preparation. Now, how do we go about it? First method of preparation, then physical properties, and then chemical properties. Okay, so let us start with preparation. Now, first method of preparation is from unsaturated hydrocarbons. What are unsaturated hydrocarbons? That is, they are alkenes and alkynes. They have double and triple bond. And if hydrogen is added to alkenes and alkynes, it will give you alkanes. Isn't it? Because they all differ by CH2 by two hydrogen units. Okay. Now here hydrogenation is written. What is hydrogenation? Addition of hydrogen. Hydrogenation, addition of hydrogen. Okay. Now look here. This molecule is ethene. Now something I am telling you, in the exam I will ask the reactions with 3 carbon atoms, and all examples in NCRT are given with 2 carbon atoms. That means symmetrical alkenes are given, and I will be asking you with unsymmetrical alkenes. Okay, so that is application part. This is ethene plus hydrogen in presence of nickel, which acts as a catalyst at 573 Kelvin. If that is there, this bond will break by homolytic fission. Okay, it will break by homolytic fission. This bond will be hydrogen, and hydrogen will also break by homolytic fission. Free radicals will be generated which will get attached here. Okay, one hydrogen this side, one hydrogen this side, and ethane will be formed. Similarly, if we have got ethyne, this is ethyne. Okay, we will require double the amount of hydrogen, that is 2 moles of hydrogen. Why? Because first one pi bond will break, it will change into ethene, then another pi bond will break, and then we will finally get ethane. So 2 moles of hydrogen will be required using nickel as catalyst at 573 Kelvin. Okay, so this is the first method of preparation of alkane. Now the second method of preparation of alkane is from alkyl halide. Okay, it is from alkyl halide. Now what are alkyl halides? General formula will be Rx, isn't it? R can be any alkyl group, methyl, ethyl, propyl, and X can be chlorine, bromine, or iodine. So general formula of alkyl halide is Rx. Now look here, I have given one example. Methyl chloride. This is your alkyl part, this is your halogen part. It can be methyl bromide also, it can be methyl iodide also. When you add hydrogen to it, now this hydrogen and this hydrogen is different. This is hydrogen molecule and This is nascent hydrogen. It is nascent hydrogen. Single atom of hydrogen, which is more reactive than molecular hydrogen. NaSCENT, nascent hydrogen. Okay, how is it produced? When zinc metal reacts with any acid. Now this can be zinc and HCl or zinc and sulfuric acid or zinc oblique just hydrogen ions, because all acids will give you hydrogen ions. And then what will be formed? It will be one hydrogen is going to react with Cl and form HCl, and the other hydrogen will take its place. This is nothing but simple substitution reaction. One hydrogen will take the place of chlorine, and this chlorine which is displaced will react with other atom of hydrogen to form HCl. I have written a note over here. Can you see the note? It is okay. You cannot see. Now can you see? Now can you see? Okay, don't argue and waste time. Note I have written hydrogen oblique palladium means hydrogen in presence of palladium as catalyst, or P4 is phosphorus. Okay, phosphorus exists as P4 molecule. So phosphorus in presence of Hi can also be used. It will perform the same function as zinc and HCl, or zinc and sulfuric acid, or zinc oblique hydrogen ion. Alright, all are going to produce nascent hydrogen. Is that okay? All right. Then the third reaction is Wood's reaction. It is a named reaction. What are named reaction in organic chemistry? The scientists, we respect them. Okay? The scientist who discovered this reaction is given the name over there. Woods is the name of the scientist. Okay? And he performed the reaction with methyl chloride and methyl chloride. 2 moles are there. These molecules have to be same. They cannot be different. They have to be same. In presence of sodium metal, okay, in presence of dry ether, will form, see, this is going to take this much away here. Okay, methyl chlorine and sodium and chlorine will be lost as 2NaCl. Can you see 2NaCl there? And the two methyl groups are going to join to form ethane. Okay, all right. Now you will answer. See the number of carbon atom in one molecule of alkyl halide. What is the number of carbon atom in methyl chloride? 1. What is the number of carbon atom in the alkane formed? 2. Okay, now if I take ethyl chloride plus ethyl chloride, that means 2 ethyl groups will be linked together. What will be the product form? What will be the product form? No, correct. Good. It is going to be butane. See, whatever is the number of carbon atom here in alkyl halide, double the number of carbon atom we are getting here, because the second part is duplicate. Isn't it? This is 1 plus 1. It will form 2. But alkyl halide will have Rx formula, will have only 1 carbon atom. If I will take ethyl chloride, ethyl and ethyl will give me butane, 4 carbon atom. If I take propyl chloride, then propyl chloride, hexane, very good. Now tell me one thing, can we produce methane by this method? Why? Because for methane, there is no alkyl halide with half carbon, isn't it? Minimum one carbon value has to be 1. So we will go on to limitations now. See, can you see this on the blackboard limitation? Please write. You will write. I have not written on the blackboard, but write number 1, methane cannot be produced by this method. Methane cannot be produced by this method. What is the limitation of this reaction? I just now made you count ethane, then butane, then hexane. What is common in all three of them? They are having even number of carbon atoms. Okay? Propane, methane, propane, pentane, heptane cannot be prepared by this method. Okay? Alkanes with odd number of carbon atoms cannot be prepared by this method. Okay, in the next class, okay, in the next video, I will be discussing reasoning questions based on these, whatever I am teaching right now. So, one of them is if we try and take two different alkyl halides, then what will happen? Okay, why don't we take two different alkyl halides? We take 2 moles of same alkyl halide. Okay, so alkanes with odd number of carbon atoms cannot be prepared by this method. Methane also cannot be prepared by this method. Okay, next we go on to the fourth point, that is from carboxylic acid. From carboxylic acid, you know what are we actually doing? In method of preparation, we try and get compounds from different functional groups. Like we used what? We used alkenes, we used alkynes, we used alkyl halide, and now we are using carboxylic acid. Okay, this is sodium acetate. This is sodium acetate. Acetic acid is CH3COH or vinegar it is, right? If you make it react with NaOH, you will get a sodium salt. Why are we converting it into sodium salt? Because all sodium salts are soluble in water. All organic carboxylic acids may not be soluble in water. Is that clear? So, we will convert it into sodium salt of acetic acid. Then we make it react with these two reagents, calcium oxide and NaOH, and they go together, right? The mixture is known as soda lime. What is it known as? Soda lime. Okay. So wherever on the arrow you will find NaOH and calcium oxide, it is just going to lose carbon dioxide, and this indicates heat. Okay. When you heat it, carbon dioxide is lost. One carbon is lost as carbon dioxide. Hydrogen will take its place. Methane will be formed. Okay. Carbon dioxide given out reacts with sodium to form sodium carbonate. Is this clear? Okay. Now I'm asking you a reasoning question. My question is, if I want to prepare ethane, which acid I will take here? I'm preparing ethane from carboxylic acid. Sodium propanoate you will take. CH3CH2COONA. Because one of the carbon atom is lost as carbon dioxide. Okay? I have to prepare here butane. I will take pentanoic acid here. One carbon atom more I will take. So this reaction characteristic is the alkane form has one carbon atom less. You know what are these type of reactions known as? They are known as step down reaction. Step down reaction. Whereas Wood's reaction, where you are creating an alkane with more number of carbon atoms, is a step up reaction. Step up is when we go from methane, ethane, propane, we are increasing the number of carbon atoms. And step down is when we decrease the number of carbon atoms. Okay, so here we are decreasing. This is a step down reaction. Wood's reaction is a step up reaction. Is that now? Next is Kolbe's electrolytic method. Am I going very fast? So I will slow down. As long as you understand, it's okay. So Kolbe's electrolytic method. Okay. So what is this? Just now I said sodium acetate. We take 2 moles of sodium acetate, dissolve it in water and pass electricity. Alright? We pass electricity. We get ethane because this is lost as carbon dioxide. So instead of 1 mole, we will get 2 moles of carbon dioxide. 2 methyl groups will join to form ethane, and this sodium is going to react with water to form NaOH. Okay. Now I am starting gradually the mechanism. We study organic with mechanism only. What is happening? There's no need of writing it. Okay. Don't try and balance organic reactions. Organic reactions, we write only the main products. Okay. The sub products are not written. Those products which we can isolate are only written. So we never try and balance organic reactions. Okay? Alright. Now here we come to mechanism. This is what? Sodium acetate. You dissolve it in water, it will break up into acetate ion and sodium ion, and the reaction is reversible. Okay? Acetate ion and sodium ion. Now what will happen at anode? What is the charge at anode? Okay. Can you see the board? Okay. See this. At anode, what is the charge at anode? Positive. So this acetate ion moves to anode because it is oppositely charged. And there are 2 moles, so we'll have 2 negative charges. So 2 electrons will be lost, and we will get 2 CH3 C double bond O. That means only negative charge is lost in the form of 2 electrons. Okay? Then this breaks up into carbon dioxide and 2 methyl free radicals. We will get 2 methyl free radicals and 2 carbon dioxide. These 2 methyl free radicals will then join to form ethane. Okay? Now what is the... Okay, look here. Which compound is this? Sodium acetate. Dissolve it in water. This will break up into 2 acetate ions and 2 sodium ions. Here I have written electrolysis. That means we will have one anode and one cathode. And this will be in solution. Okay? This will remain in solution. Now at anode, which is positively charged, this acetate ion is going to move to anode. Now anode has positive charge means it will take away 2 electrons from 2 acetate molecules. And neutral acetate ion will be formed. Neutral molecule. Okay. Then bond will break from here. And you will get 2 free radicals of methyl and CO2 will be formed. What is CO2 structure? C double bond O, and there should be a double bond here. Simply, if the bond breaks from here, it will come here. Okay? Alright. Now these 2 methyl free radicals will join to form ethane. Now question asked is, which gas is liberated at anode? Which gas? No, ethane. This gas will be liberated at anode. Okay? What will happen at cathode? Water which is present takes one electron from cathode, which is negatively charged, breaks up into OH minus and H free radical. Then 2 H free radicals will join to form hydrogen gas. This is going to be hydrogen gas. Okay? This will be hydrogen gas. So the question asked is, in Kolbe's electrolytic method, which gas is liberated at anode and which is liberated at cathode? Anode will be ethane, cathode will be hydrogen. Okay? Alright. Now look here. I can change and turn and twist the question like this. Ethane you got when you had taken a sodium salt of ethanoic acid. है ना? If I want here, again, two methyl free radicals are joining. So I cannot prepare propane by this method. Okay. What I will take here? If I will take propanoic acid, what will I get over here? If I take propanoic acid, I will get hexane over here. Correct. Okay. So again, there is limitation. Alkanes with only even number of carbon atoms can be prepared by this method. Okay. Got it? Alright. Next, we go on to physical properties. Physical properties include three things. You can write it down. What are those three things? Boiling point, melting point, and solubility. When we talk about physical properties, we talk about these three things: boiling point, melting point, solubility. Boiling point is for liquids, melting point is for solids, and solubility in water. I will explain you the basics. Now what I am explaining you is in general for all organic compounds, at least all hydrocarbons. Okay. C1 to C4 are gases, means methane, ethane, propane, butane, they are gases. C5 to C17 means pentane onwards, till 17 carbon atom they are liquids, and 18 onwards they are solids. Okay. Alkanes have generally low boiling points. Now, what does boiling point depend upon? What does boiling point depend upon? It depends upon the force of attraction between the molecules. If the force of attraction is very strong, then the boiling point is going to be high, because when we will heat the liquid, first intermolecular forces of attraction will be broken, and then the kinetic energy of the molecules will rise and they will change into vapor phase. Okay. So the strongest attraction is hydrogen bonding, and here in alkanes, since the molecules are non-polar, it is van der Waals forces of attraction. Van der Waals forces of attraction, which is weak. That is the reason why alkanes have generally low boiling point. Okay, because of van der Waals forces between them. Is this clear? Then boiling point of straight chain alkane increases due to increase in carbon atom. Meaning here, if we have say propane and we have pentane, which one is going to have higher boiling point? Which one has got greater number of carbon atoms? Pentane. Okay. In pentane, the carbon chain will be longer. If the carbon chain is going to be longer, surface area will be more. And when surface area is more, surface area in contact will also be more. Is that clear? Now what?